All right, number 7. One study showed that in a certain year, airline fatalities occur at a rate of 0.017 death per 100 million miles. We're going to find the probabilities that during the next 100 million miles of flight, there will be exactly 0. And we're going to interpret at least 1 and more than 1. So they've given us the average per 100 million miles, and then they're asking us to compute the probabilities per 100 million miles. So the interval is exactly corresponding with the average rate. So in this problem, we don't have to compute the mean for the number of intervals. So basically, your lambda is 0.017, and then the time interval, or t, would be basically 1, because we're only looking at one interval of 100,000 miles. So if they asked us like 200 million miles, we would have 2 intervals, or 3, so forth and so on. So in this case, we're just looking at one interval. So our mean is just going to be the 0.017 times 1, which is equal to 0.017. So this is our mean that we're going to be using. And we are going to find the probability of 0, at least 1. So the next one is going to be probability at least 1. It's going to be greater than or equal to 1. And then the probability of more than 1. So just greater than 1. All right, so we're going to pull this up in StatCrunch. Calculator, Poisson, mean is 0.017, and we are going to go with exactly 0, so equal to 0. Equal to 0 is going to be 0.9831. Then we want greater than or equal to 1. That is going to be 0.0169 when rounded, 0.0169. And then just greater than 1 is going to be 0.0001. All right, so the first one, round to 4 decimal places, 9831. All right, so what does that mean? So there will be 0 deaths. There will be exactly 0 deaths. That's what we're asking in the first one. And approximately blank of 100 randomly selected 100 million mile flights. So if we're doing it 100 times, we're going to take our probability, multiply times 100, so that's going to move the decimal 2 times to the right. It's going to give us 98, and then rounding to, does it tell us to round? Last time we round to the whole number, so we're going to round to the nearest whole number. We're going to say 90, oh, they got to drop down, 98. They already had it for us. Greater than 1, we got 0.0169. And then there will be at least 1 death. We're saying at least 1 this time. If we do this 100 times, so I would multiply this by 100 and move the decimal over 2 times, so that'll be 1.6, which will round up to about 2 to the nearest whole number. So if we did it 100 times, we would expect maybe 2 deaths out of 100 million miles of flight. And then C, more than 1 death. So how many times we would expect more than 1? The probability was 0.0001. Oh, it says 5 decimal places. Sorry, did not read that carefully. So where did my StatCrunch window go? So we did, this is the last one, greater than 1. 5 decimal places, 0.0014. Okay. So they just changed it up on the 0.0014. So just add that 4. So just be careful there. And then if we did this 100 times, so we would expect more than one death and approximately blank out of 100. So if I did this 100 times and I multiplied, moved the decimal over twice, we would expect none of them, because when you move it over twice, you get 0.014, that doesn't round up. So we would expect none of the 100 flights to have more than 1 death.